Good evening, everyone. Excuse me. Good morning. Tonight, I will read you number 6 from the Shokushu Relaxation. We are accustomed to having trouble with unnecessary nervousness. Nervousness causes blood vessels to contract, making it difficult for the impurities to leave the body, and thus makes one susceptible to many diseases. Relaxation is truly an elixir of life. Let us spread the true method of relaxation, which enables us to meet each day with a spirit like that of a mild spring breeze. If we practice this, we need never get nervous and excited in our daily affairs. I wanted to read this tonight because I want to make sure that there's no confusion or that a clear understanding. When I talk about noticing, it's and who is noticing? When we are noticing our thoughts or our feelings or our words or our actions, if there's any sense at all of judgment in there, any sense of like guilt or shame or pride, then it's not you that's watching, it's someone else that's watching. For instance, when you're cutting bokken in the dojo, I often tell you, don't watch yourself cut bokken. What I mean by that is you don't judge yourself cutting bokken. It's not the same as noticing the cutting. That's okay. But you'll never be able to cut like your friend down the line there. You'll never be able to cut like your teacher. You will only ever be able to cut like you. And that's when you're liberated from comparison with others, from judging the quality of what you're doing based on what other people do or what other people say. And then when we're doing that, we're not receiving the benefit that Aikido has for us. Liberation means liberation from slavery. And when you're trying to do something according to someone else, that means you're enslaved by them. You are their slave. You are wasting your energy and your attention, your life, based on someone else's opinion. This is completely self-defeating. So, of course, this doesn't mean we don't listen to others because they have wisdom for us. So it's important to listen. But it is not important to try to be like anybody else. You are the center of your universe. You are it. Everything else that you perceive is a reflection of what's going on inside you. Well, this is what we have to work with and nothing more. It's plenty. Okay. Keep breathing. One time, many years ago, my teacher asked me to take a year and do a Mawashi Waza. 1,000 times every morning. And it wasn't until about 25% of the year had gone by, I don't know, 3 or 4 months, before I noticed that I was doing it for him. I was doing the exercise for the teacher. It was Maruyama Sensei, and he came from Japan, and I couldn't wait for him to come back again so I could tell him that I was doing what he asked me to do. Then I realized that this is, I don't think this is for him. This is supposed to be for me. So we do this. We have this sort of deeply sort of subconscious motivation. And maybe in the beginning it's our parents. And again, don't get me, misunderstand me. This is not wrong. This is the way we are. But we have to notice it and accept it, or we're always being misled. We're always being a slave to someone else. This is very, very important. We must do everything because it needs to be done. In Zen, there's this word Tada, T-A-D-A, Tada. Tada means like just this. It's just this. So this is in Aikido, we call this equanimity, right? So not having a preference. Or it's not that you don't have a preference, but you're not a slave to the preference. Let's put it that way. So this is Tada. Just everything is just what it is. It's not good. It's not bad. It's not better, best. It's not worse. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing good about it. It's just what it is. And when we start seeing that's the way things are, when we are able to accept that, then that's when we can start truly appreciating who we are. Okay, so what do you think about that? Maybe Lily and Paiva would like to say something about that. What does that make you think?
Aloha, Sensei. This Tada is something I get snippets of. You know, okay. This year, thanks to the classes, I kind of changed my approach to key breathing. All this time, I thought it was something I had to do or should do or needed to do instead of being grateful to do it. And because I changed the feeling of being grateful to do it, I noticed a difference. I can't really say what the difference is, but ta-da!
Ta-da!
Yeah. So I guess this has really helped. And if I can ask a question that I don't know if this is what it relates to, but when you sent out that thing on how to ask a question, the pages from your friend in the mainland,
yeah,
one of the things that I've been thinking about this was go to the edge of your practice. And is this what he's talking about? Is this the edge he's talking about?
Well, it depends. No, not necessarily. I mean, well, yeah, the answer is never no. Of course. But he talks about this a lot in his teaching, about when you approach the teacher, to have a discussion or to ask a question or to make a comment or even just to do satsang, just to be there with the teacher. You want to be on your game. You want to be at the edge of the sharp edge of your training. You don't want to be holding back and protecting anything. You want to be hanging out all over, raw, completely vulnerable. This is very difficult to do, and it's very rare for a student to actually be in this place. For instance, just being in this class, in some sense, puts you in this place. Because you never know when I might just say, hey, Lillian, how about you? What do you think? You know, and many people can't be in this class. Many people are not going to put themselves in this position. It's not like they're consciously saying, well, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to. It's just that we automatically avoid of being vulnerable and discovering what listening with an openness actually feels like, which is like you don't have any skin protecting your body, or you don't have any clothes on and you're right there with this old guy. You know? Something to think about. Well, you know, that doesn't come up too often. But he teaches it a lot. And thank you for asking that. It's very important. All right, how about Christoph? Would you tell me what that makes you feel?
Good evening. Good morning.
Good morning. What I mean is, what this makes you feel in terms of, have you noticed this tendency in yourself to sometimes do something because someone else recommends it, insists on it, maybe even that you're doing it for someone else, to be like someone or to achieve something that someone else wants, maybe a relative or a partner or a teacher or a child.
Yes. I mean, obviously, well, I'm not sure what I can contribute. I feel quite vulnerable these days. I can tell you, for different reasons. Why am I sitting here with you, attending? It's because I find it interesting. I'm not doing you a favor. Somehow I'm searching for clues, but also I'm trying with these Zoom classes and with my interactions here. I'm trying not to think too much. I'm trying to open up to what there is. But to come back to your question, yes, of course, it's probably the story of my life. I've been influenced by the relationship I had with my parents, probably, and things I was looking for with my mother, with my father. That's certainly true. At the same time, you see the idea of being a slave somewhere inside me. I am very much against being the slave of anyone. So. But at the same time, I am sometimes too kind somehow. And even though I know people think I'm probably tough, rigid, whatever, I think sometimes I'm very kind. But I'm very kind, and at the same time, I have some safety inside myself, some internal reasoning that tells me no, don't be a slave of this situation, don't be a slave of this interaction. So sometimes I'm clueless about social relationship, because I don't have anything against people, but I don't want to fall into slavery, and I don't know how to necessarily how to handle these things correctly. So I end up, yeah. So I'm speaking too much. Thank you.
No. But I do want to say that, comment on that. First of all, this may seem like off the point, but it's a response to what you're saying. I think you'll see. When we have this kind of discussion, either comment and response or question and answer, whatever you want to call it, this kind of interaction, it's a little bit not like normal interaction. And what's not normal about it is that it's not for either of us to speculate. It's like a koan. When I bring up something in the beginning of the class, I always try to present it in such a way that there's no answer to it. That there's no way to think about it. Thinking about it doesn't give you the answer, I mean, like a koan, like a Zen koan, like a question that has no rational answer. And if I keep piling on and reverting to that over and over and over and over, then it changes the nature of the interaction that we have, and automatically leads us to be more vulnerable and more raw and much less defensive and more revealing. And so that over a period of time, we all become more open and more, and that which we have been copying all of our life, our conditioning, becomes much more available to us. Yeah? Okay, so thank you very much for being willing to talk to me about that. I do have one thing I want to say before we leave tonight. Beginning next week, I'll be only teaching Friday night a discussion group and Sunday morning Keep Breathing, Keep Meditation class. We will continue with this Wednesday night class, and I'm turning it over to two people, Tracy Reasoner Sensei and Carlos Boyer Sensei will be from now on alternating leading this Wednesday night class. So 1 week Tracy, 1 week Carlos, and so forth. These two have been training with me at least 20 years, a long time, and they're highly regarded instructors. I really trust them. That's why I've asked them to do this. So I really want you to take advantage, everybody, of this opportunity, because you only just hear me all the time. And I'm sure it's going to be a breath of fresh air to get to see them teaching and hear them and sit with them. Okay, so that's what's going to happen starting next week, and I hope you like that. And I will send out also a written little thing about it so everybody knows. Okay, so thank you very much. I will see you Friday. どうもありがとうございました。